All right.
No more cuts, no more lies. We will not be victimized.
No more lies. We will not be victimized. No more cuts. All right. We're gonna get this. Yeah, that was awesome. Oh, we have to too. That's cool.
Good ones.
Yeah, that's really good. All right, so I think we're gonna invite. All right, so I'm just gonna talk really briefly about poverty makes us sick and why we've been organizing around this issue for the last 3 years now, around the various cuts to social assistance, around the miserable rates that are being provided to folks, and now this ongoing series of cuts that are taking away even just the basic necessities of folks. So poverty makes us sick came together in 2010 to fight the cuts' special diet allowance that was stealing people's ability to eat healthy food to maintain their health. And we've been fighting this fight in various fronts from that time till today. And now obviously they were trying to take food off people's tables. Now they're trying to take the shelter away, the roofs from over their heads. So we have to keep fighting back. So just wanted to introduce ourselves. There's a few of us Poverty Makes Us Sick members. And I think I'm going to put this away. Obviously, I'm excitable. So I wanted to invite Paul up, who's going to be our MC for today. So this is Paul's up.
All right.
Hi, my name's Paul. I'm going to do a very informal MC role today and introduce some folks. And if you have any questions or anything, you can talk to me about that too. If you want to speak, and just put on the speakers list and talk to me about that also. So right now I'm actually going to invite Amanda back up to talk a little bit about their experience. So here's Amanda. Let's give them a round of applause.
Hi everybody. I've been on ODSP since I was 19 years old. And I have family members that are on it, and I've also been on OW. These cuts will affect me in so many ways. I've had to access to the store with numerous times just to make ends meet. And not only that, last year I had my rent stolen, and I had to beg ODSP to give me a month's rent just so I wouldn't be evicted. I've lived in shelters. I've seen what people go through. They only get $116 a month for single persons. How are they supposed to save up last month's rent on that? So if they cut this, people are going to end up living in shelters for the rest of their lives. Or worse, on the streets. This can't happen. This is an atrocity. Show it a John White that people not to stand for this. That we may be poor, but we have voices. That we will not stand for this any longer. So no more cuts, no more lies. We will not be victimized. Cuts, no more lies. We will not be victimized.
All right, let's hear for Amanda. Woo! That was awesome. I'm just going to bring the team up real quick to check in.
Hey, I just have some literature for people. So there's 3 flyers. So about a month ago, there was a vigil for Alexa Smith who passed away on October 19th of 2007. So there's Sarah at the back also has some info on that. We'll pass it out. There's also, if you want to know more about Poverty Makes Us Sick, there's a flyer that I have and Sarah also has at the back. You can pick that up. We're also on the web at povertymakesussick.wordpress. And there's another sheet on the community startup and benefits. So if you want to know more about it, there's online resources here as well. So come see me or Sarah and we can see you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Nadeem. We're just checking in with the speaker right now. Okay, Shannon's going to talk.
Hi again. This is why I have a mic. So, okay, so I just wanted to, while we're organizing ourselves and figuring out how we're going to share some more stories, just to tell you about some stuff that we've been working on over the last couple of months and stuff we're going to be doing over the next few weeks that hopefully you'll get involved with. So every Tuesday, one of the things we're trying to do, and it's part of a provincial campaign organized primarily by OCAP, connected to CUPE, so the Ontario Coalition Against Poverty, is to actually get people to sign up for the benefits. So we absolutely are fighting these cuts. We're absolutely going to take it all the way up to January 1st. But in the meantime, we also need to be signing people up so that we can get every dollar out of this government that we can until that point. So on Tuesday evenings from 6 to 7 at the Working Centre, which is the Queen Street Commons Cafe, which is at 43 Queen Street South, we're doing sign-up clinics. So folks who are have kind of those skills are supporting people in filling out the applications, in submitting those applications to their workers so that they can get access to the community startup while it's still in place. And at the same time, we're going to do a political action where we gather all of those duplicates of those applications and take those directly to Malloy, take those directly to the government to show them the need, to show them what they're actually cutting folks off. So that's every Tuesday until the end of December. We've also been, hopefully folks have heard about some of our informal or unplanned visits to Malloy's office that have been happening over the last couple of weeks. So led by so Poverty Makes Us Sick and some amazing allies, including the Alliance Against Poverty and a bunch of other groups, the SWAT Collective. So trying to make Malloy's life a little uncomfortable. He's obviously going to be taking some steps to devastate the lives of people in our community, so the least we can do is make his life a little disrupted, a little uncomfortable, and really make sure that he understands the devastation that these cuts are going to create. So we've been doing that, and there will be lots more to come. December 7th is one of those visits. What's really exciting about that day is that we'll be bringing people from across the province with us. So there's going to be a rally at John Malloy's office, which is up on King Street. What's happening is that he's having an open house, a holiday open house, to greet his constituents, to celebrate the holidays, to celebrate what he's given to our community. And we think it's pretty important that we're there to both to talk to his constituents, his other constituents who are there, and to tell him that we're not getting fooled and that we're going to be there, and people from all across Ontario are going to be there with us. So we invite you to be there at 12:30 on the 7th for a little celebration of our own. I think, yeah. So absolutely. So please follow. Get in touch with us and OCAP, and there's a bunch of folks organizing that, including Labour, which is wonderful that Labour is at the table and willing to push back, because obviously we have some really strong shared goals. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting any other actions that are coming up. Anyone know of anything? Anybody coming up with anything even on the spot that they want to suggest for an action? Oh, here, Julian, do you want to is there something coming up? Okay, I'll just let Julian tell you, and then I'll share some more.
To my understanding, today is the International Day Against Violence Against Women. In Northern Ireland right now, there's a woman named Miriam Price who has been held for almost 600 days in solitary confinement. Most of that has been in an all-men's jail. She has been brutalized, beaten, and tortured, and her only crime is the fact that her politics are not cohesive with the British imperialist class that has colonized in 6 counties. Monday, Miriam Price had a court date, and she was unable to attend because of her failing health. She's currently dying in jail, and the media is silent about this. On the day of International Violence Against Women, we should remember this and take a stand against violence against Irish Republican women and the violence of the British colonialist state, not only in Ireland, but here as well, as we know what recently was happening at Grand Valley Detention Centre. This Wednesday at 4 o'clock at Queen Street Commons, we're having a letter writing night to Irish Republican prisoners. Christmas is a very depressing and sad time, especially in isolation. I would ask everyone to come out. Thank you very much.
Woo! We love you, Julian!
I think it's really important that Julian again raised one of the reasons that we decided to do this rally today. So it's actually officially tomorrow, the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. On Friday, there was an action in Toronto that talked about the impact that the cuts to the CSUMB are going to have on the lives of women and children who are currently living in violent homes, who are trying to flee domestic violence, and who the lack of first and last month's rent means that they are going to have to stay in these horrible situations. Will have to stay in transition in the shelters that are already overstretched. We already here locally are trying to get money to expand the beds, but we already have these shelters, these women's shelters that are overstretched, people bunking up, not being able to transition out of these places. So that's one of the reasons that they're getting overcrowded, because people do not have access to the resources that help them transition into their new lives. And so it's really important that we talk about that. On Friday, there was an action organized by the Ontario Interval and Transitional Housing something else, with OCAP, at the Minister of Women's, the Ontario Women's Directorate. And again, they were speaking about the CSUMB. They were talking about the impact that it's going to have on women. They were raising this as a women's issue. And so I think we're in solidarity with them as well. I think, is there anyone, do we have our next speaker ready? Okay. I think we will invite Britt up to speak.
Britt!
Woo!
Britt!
Hi everyone, I'm Britt. I've been organizing as part of the downtown community for about 5 years now. I've been asked to speak about the community startup benefits today, so here's a bit of my story. I was homeless for a few years when I was younger, couldn't hold down a job, with no place to sleep. So finally, when I was old enough, I got on OW and accessed the community startup for the first time. I found a stable place to live, well, about as stable as you can get for $306 a month. In more recent times, I have become a mother. Around the time I received the news of my pregnancy, I found myself again homeless. And as my due date creeped closer, I ended up on my friend's couch. Again, I had to access community startup. I really don't know what I would have done in either of those situations without this benefit. And also, I've had many friends who have had to leave abusive situations, and in order to find housing away and safe from their abusers, they've had to access this benefit. Without it, these people would have had to remain in unsafe conditions, sometimes with their children. This attack on women and poor people is unacceptable. Keep our women safe and stop the cuts.
Right on.
People power!
All right, thanks, Britt. I think we're going to get ready to march now. We are going to be marching on the road, and we encourage anybody who feels comfortable to do that with us. If you don't and you want to walk on the sidewalk beside that, that's totally fine too. So we're just going to be heading out in a few minutes. We're going to have Amanda leading some chants, and it's going to be awesome. If anybody else has some chants that they want to be doing, that's great too. So we'll be heading out real soon.
Guys, can you please get out to the doorway? Thank you. Let the doors close.
No more cuts, no more lives, we will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lives, we will not be victimized.
No more cuts, no more lies, we will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies, we will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies, we will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies, we will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies, we will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies, we will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies, we will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies, we will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies, we will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies, we will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies, we will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies, we will not be victimized.
We need housing, not courthouses.
No more cuts, no more lies, we will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies, we will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies, we will not be victimized. No more cuts, No more cuts, no more lies. We will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies. We will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies. We will not be victimized.
No more cuts.
No more lies. We will not be victimized.
No more cuts. No more lies. We will not be victimized.
We need housing, not courthouses.
We'd like to have an open mic time right now if anybody would like to step forward and speak about how important housing is, especially as we have this cold winter day. We got it nice and warm in here for these pigs who brutalize our community and criminalize poor people. Anybody would like to speak to that, now's the time. We're here to tell them that they cannot attack our communities any longer. Boo!
I'll speak. My name's Oscar Larnell. I represent the Alliance Against Poverty. We are here to eradicate poverty no matter. We wish the police force would be police officers and join us. We ask them to join us in this march to stop and end poverty.
My name's Amanda, and I've spoken before. Everybody here knows me. I urge the police to join us rather than be against us. Would they rather not see people be free and they're not on the streets and not being criminal acts and where they don't have to arrest us and fill up jails? Think of that, officers, please.
Right.
Join us rather than be against us.
Good way to go, man.
Thank you.
Speak. That's right.
If you wish to protest, go out to the sidewalk. We have business to do.
Boo! Boo! We will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies. We will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies. We will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies. We will not be victimized. No more cuts, no more lies. We will not be victimized.
No more cuts.
No more lies. We will not be victimized. No more cuts. John Malloy has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. John Malloy has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. John Malloy has got to go.
John Malloy has got to go. John Malloy has got to go.
Hey, hey. Ho, ho. John Malloy has got to go.
I think we should, because they're saying they're going to start the protest, so we either need to like
Make arms.
right?
Make arms! Make arms! Stand together! Solidarity!
With the sign over.
Okay.
Solidarity!
The police are saying that they're going to start letting trespassing tickets. So anybody who wants to leave should.
How do you feel about ignoring the poor?
They're going to start ignoring the poor?
Ignoring the poor's plights for housing.
Can't say that I do.
How do you feel about kicking out people wanting to give free speech about housing?
Because we have to do other business in here. The forum is out on the sidewalk, not in our foyer.
Okay.
Please continue on.
Public property!
It's locked. You gotta pee outside.
Okay.
Use the washroom when everyone's left.
You guys should be with us, not against us.
It's time to leave.
Everybody out, please.
It's time to go.
Let's go, my guys. Let's go.
It's time to go.
Out to the sidewalk.
Free speech outside, not inside. Stop the war on the poor. Stop the war. Stop the war on the poor. Make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor. Make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor. Make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor. Make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor. Make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor. Make the rich pay.
Thank you. Out you go.
I'm on the sidewalk.
Would you rather
No,
have
the
us in
sidewalk's down
St.
there. This is
Paul's
still private
rather than
property.
put us in
Let's go.
jail cells?
Go to the
Take us out,
sidewalk.
officers. We're looking for someone.
Out to the sidewalk, you're more than welcome to protest there.
Would you rather have us
Welcome to protest here.
in St. Paul's?
Not on our, not right here on our property.
Look
We have
at
people
women
that
and
come up
children
here to
who are
report incidents
escaping
to us.
it.
Then you guys
Abusive
are not in.
situation.
I wouldn't want to come
Prevent people from reporting incidents.
Please go down. That's what you're doing with yelling and screaming in there, so please.
We want to
go down.
report a cut to the CSUMB.
You should take that up with John Malloy's office.
Well, you just
Oh, yeah.
You guys want
He told us to come talk to you guys.
Then I would come.
This is a
I would
theft of
come during the
millions.
weekday when you're able to talk to the
You
senior
tell us that
officers
all the
over
time.
here. Well, then show up. then. Thank you. Please stand back.
Whatever he's done.
Because we don't got donuts.
Stop criminalizing the homeless community, stop criminalizing poverty, and we won't have to have these kind of interactions.
Turn the lights on and you get donuts.
Poverty is a crime, but it's not our crime.
Right on.
I guarantee a 12-pack of donuts for a cop that signs up with us.
Save the CSUMB.
Right on.
How did it go?
Against the world.
Jude's the last one to come.
Oh, I had to go to the washroom.
Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay.
Bring the place down.
Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay. What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
What do we want it?
Look at the horse cop out here. Yeah, see. Right there.
Where's he in?
You should come join us.
How do you feel about the cuts to the CSUMB?
How do I feel about the cuts to CSUMB? Okay, the cuts to CSUMB are an attack on poor people who should be getting more support instead of less. And it's especially terrible to be hitting people at times when they're down and they need support, and even a little bit of resources can go a long way. So this program, it should be strengthened, not cut.
Oh no, they're gonna get their horses after us.
Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay.
Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay. Stop the war on the poor, make the rich pay.
Stop the war on the
Make the rich pay!
So,
How do you feel about the cuts to the CSUMB?
I think they should be reversed and increased. That's how I feel about them.
How do you feel about what they're going to do to the community startup maintenance benefit?
I think it's pretty stupid.
We have a right to voice our opinions.
It's going to save a lot in healthcare if they don't cut it, or if they increase it.
The Human Rights Commission, it's in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. We have a right to stand here. We should not move. We should stand here and protest and voice our expression as we have a right to do. They have no right to lock us out. They have no right to lay hands on us. They have no right to even try to approach us and arrest us. We should stand here and stay strong in solidarity.
I know. Check how much there is now.
No.
There's like so much on
How do you feel about the cuts to the community startup and maintenance benefits?
It's an atrocity to the community and all those across the province. People are gonna end up on the streets dead or starving. We have to stop this right now.
Shut the door on the poor. Keep them invisible. Becoming. I have full. Yeah.
We're getting surrounded.
Oh, look, they're going through the back.
So late the other night, after 11:15, the phone rings where I'm staying. It's a pig named Matt Allen, Sergeant Matt Allen, asking for me at home in the middle of the night. The reason he said he was calling is that Constable Matt Loshman, who many of us had interactions with, is being investigated for shoving and otherwise brutalizing people who the pig Sergeant Matt Allen characterized as winos drinking on the street. Well, whoops, I wasn't supposed to disclose that to anybody. It was supposed to come in to be part of the investigation. Of course, I'm not going to do that, but if there is an investigation on Matt Loshman, I would just like to bring to the police's attention that every single police officer punishes and brutalizes the poor people in downtown Kitchener. Every single police officer brutalizes poor people everywhere across this province. Every single police officer brutalizes poor people wherever police officers exist. So we'd like to report each and one of you, not just the pig Matt Loshman, who's under investigation for brutalizing poor people downtown.
Shame on you!
Shame on the pig. So earlier I mentioned the case of Miriam Price in Northern Ireland, and a lot of people are like, the situation in Northern Ireland is very, very different than the situation here. That's not true at all. This is a colonialist settler state. The police here act as agents of the crown, a crown that has not upheld one treaty that they have signed, a crown that brutalizes and murders and rapes Indigenous women. As settlers here, we have an obligation not to act as colonialists, but to side with the people who are colonized and oppressed. We have to recognize there is no difference between the situation of Indigenous people here and the Irish people in the colonized 6 counties. Nor is there any difference between the situations of Indigenous people here and the women and children that are being bombed and murdered in Gaza right now as we speak. This is a colonized settler state, so I'm not interested in mobilizing the vast majority of people who get privilege from the settler state. I'm interested in mobilizing and working with the marginalized segments of the community that are raped by prison guards, that are brutalized by the police. I'm here to organize a second front of settlers who fight on side to take away the heat, because every cop that comes after us is one less cop that brutalizes brutalizes Indigenous people. Every cop that is here is one last cop that fucking attacks Six Nations. And every fucking screw that attacks us is one less screw raping and murdering Indigenous women. I want to acknowledge the fact that we're on stolen territory, but not as a way of just being like, oh, let's feel bad about we're on stolen territory. No, that means something. That means we have an obligation and a duty to resist. That means we have an obligation to put ourselves on the front lines, to be a buffer between us and those who are colonized. And we have to take anti-colonization as a very serious stand because we are on stolen land. And the same fucking queen that's brutalizing and murdering people in Northern Ireland is the same queen that put forward the Balfour Declaration that is a justification for the murder of people in Gaza. And it's the same queen that is murdering Indigenous people here. Anti-colonialism, down with the monarchy.
Hey, Ian. My name's Wilson. How are you? I was wondering if you would mind coming and talking to me about some of the situations. No, I'm not going to do that. No? Okay. I just want you to understand that some of the things that have been going on lately are very troubling to some of the
I know, these
women.
These cuts are terrible.
No, and that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the cuts that are putting women and children and trans people in harm's way are very disconcerting. Thank you for saying that, officer.
And I would like you to understand that you have traumatized some of the women.
What
at,
women?
Mr. Malloy's office.
Oh, that's bullshit. You know it.
No,
Fuck you. Just get out of here then.
That's
garbage.
bullshit.
We're trying to take people out of harm's way. I'm not going to sit here and let you change the discussion about this event. This event is about saving the CSUMB, not about the lies that you want to perpetuate, okay? So we're done. We're done. No,
want
thank you. We're done.
You don't want to hear me?
No, go away.
And
go away.
We're done. I want you to understand that some
No more lies!
We will not be victimized! No
more cuts!
No more lies!
We will not be victimized! No more cuts! No more lies! We will not be victimized! No more cuts! No more lies! We will not be victimized! No more cuts! No more lies! We will not be victimized! No more cuts! No more lies! We will not be victimized! We will not be victimized! No more cuts! No more lies! We will not be victimized! No more cuts! No more lies! We will not be victimized! No more cuts! No more lies! We will not be victimized! No more cuts! No more lies! We will not be victimized! No more cuts! No more lies! We will not be victimized! No more cuts! No more lies! We will not be victimized! No more cuts! No more lies! We will not be victimized!
Just stop back! Step back! Step back! Step back! Step back! Step back!
Step back! Step back! Step back! Step back! Step back! Step back!
Step back! Step back! Step back!
Ian, I'm just trying to talk to you.
He's made it clear he doesn't want to talk to you. Now walk away.
I'm feeling really intimidated by you right now, so if you could just step back.
Please leave.
Really feeling, we're feeling like this is an unsafe space, so if you could just back off, that would be helpful.
And Ian, I'm just here to talk to you peacefully.
He's made it clear he doesn't want to talk to you.
It doesn't feel peaceful when you're shoving your face in his face.
I'm standing off the sidewalk even,
Yeah, and I haven't
you're
taken
in
any
my
steps
face.
towards you or anything.
You're a little too close for my
That's what we are. That's what we can.
And Ian, I'm just trying to talk to you peacefully in relation to
He has the right not to speak to you, and we made it very clear.
This isn't the time.
And I have the right to talk to you. If I'm here, I can talk.
Sure, but you don't have to keep infringing on his
not
space
allowed to
aggressively.
step into him.
And I'm just trying to
Freedom of speech.
get in a position that he can hear me.
You're trying to intimidate him during a protest.
You walked into him.
We have you on camera.
I'm here to talk to you.
Intimidating him. He doesn't want to talk to you.
What's your name and badge number, please?
Oh, he's a police person.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you please give us your name and badge number?
Sure. Son of a gun. William Fisher. Is that C-H-E-R-S-H? There's no C.
And your badge number?
682.
682. And your friend here?
Sure. It's Adam Ogram.
Adam, how do you spell that?
O-G-R-A-M.
G-R-A-M. And your badge number?
978.
978. Okay, I think we've said all we really need to say to you, and I think it's time that you go. And I think that's it. So, see you later.
Ian, and I'm here to talk to you about that situation the other day. And
Racism! Make an appointment.
Make an appointment. Will you meet
Business hours during the
No more
week.
victimization! Will you
He
meet
clearly doesn't want to talk to you. This is sort of bordering on harassment at this point, and I think you should leave. It's time to go.
Ian.
Time to leave.
Very inappropriate.
Shame! Not just be
Shame! Time to leave.
Shame!
We're on public sidewalk. We're allowed here.
Trying to force him to communicate with you.
Ian, I would like to sit and talk
You're
to you.
doing the same thing over
I'm
and over
inviting
again.
you to come.
Harassment! He said no! No means 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 no!
No means no!
It's no! Fuck, he said no!
Talk to you. He's not giving you an answer, which is perfectly within his right. Everybody here has the right to
stay silent!
if they do not want to, and they're exercising that right. You are not allowed to continue to try to force somebody to communicate with you.
Okay, great.
You can do whatever you want. Of course you can. You can always do what you want. But we're telling you that we're not doing it. It's what you said.
It's time to go, man. Like, you got your
I just want to
losses.
discuss the situation.
Stop the cuts!
Stop the cuts!
Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts!
Stop the cuts.
Stop the cuts!
Stop the cuts.
Stop the cuts! Woo! Stop the cuts! Stop the cuts! Hey! Goodbye!
No.
Pigs are coming.
Hey, Julian. Maybe Julian wants to talk.
People not talking.
You should follow this guy's lead because he seems
What
to
are
be.
the consequences if I don't? There's no consequences.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to talk. Even if there were, I still wouldn't want to talk.
Something to help you with?
I'm just walking on the sidewalk.
Okay, we gotta get this sign out of the road, so we're not in front of
I just wanted to let you know, I don't know if we're doing weekly sign-up clinics for this program.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we post?